right. It's our sixth time in Morristown. I remember the first time we met you down on the green and there were 10 people. And every year it gets bigger and bigger. And you know why? Because we're winning this thing. We just rode 110 miles. I can't tell you how much energy I have right now. And you guys haven't rode 110 miles, so I want to make sure that we're all loud. Because I want them to hear us in Dallas. So when I say enough is enough, you're going to scream back, enough is enough. All right? Enough is enough! Enough is enough! That's pretty good. I can't tell you how proud I am to lead the men and women, students, teachers, veterans, and Team 26. These bike messengers have just finished 110 miles of the 400-mile rolling rally through small towns and big cities to shine a light on the gun violence that plagues our nation. We left Newtown this morning. Carolyn Tuft, who's here, gave an emotional speech and fired us up for the ride. I thought of you, Carolyn, every pedal stroke. I did. We stopped in Peekskill, a small city that is suffering from the scourge of gun violence. Proud to be back in Morristown. We leave here. We're going to go to Trenton tomorrow morning and end up in Philadelphia. On to Newark, Delaware, to the University of Delaware. Traditional stop in Baltimore, another city suffering from the scourge of gun violence. And then we're going to ride through Southeast Washington, stop at Michelle Jones Way, where one of our friend's daughters was gunned down by an AK-47 in a random shooting. And then we'll be on to the Capitol. And there's no question, I'm going to tell the people of the Capitol that within a short bike ride from where we were, gun violence happens every day, and they need to go out and see it and do their jobs. These bike messengers are here to deliver a message. You ready? Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Dr. Martin Luther King, in his last speech in Memphis, before he became a victim of gun violence, said, only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. Only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. Well, it's dark, people. 33,000 gun deaths a year, 91 gun deaths a day. In the time that it takes us to ride from Newtown to DC, 364 people will lose their lives in this country because of guns. I was at a vigil in Hartford the other night. City like Trent, standing on a corner where a person was shot the night before. That marked the 57th shooting in Hartford just this year. Mass shootings in schools, churches, movie theaters. We have the slow massacre that is occurring in our cities like Hartford and Trenton and Chicago and Baltimore. And yet Congress does nothing. Mired in gridlock and partisan bickering. Yes, it's dark, it's pitch black. But because of the sustained efforts of people like Rebecca, the mayor, and Moms Demand, and the Brady campaign, and all of you, beginning to see the stars. Because of the students rising up, the stars are shining even brighter. We left the Sandy Hook this morning and we rode by the firehouse, where moms and dads learned what happened to their sons and daughters. There were 26 stars shining on top of the firehouse. We had a moment to reflect on why we ride, to honor what we lost in Newtown, and all victims of gun violence. I certainly saw the stars at the March for Our Lives here in Morristown and Hartford and DC and all over the country. And I see the stars with all of you being here today, committed to fight every day to reduce gun violence in our country. We're fighting back. We're saying no to concealed carry reciprocity. We're saying no to arming teachers. Teachers should teach, not carry firearms, not go to the shooting range. Saying no to AR-15s and high-capacity magazines. We are carrying with us a petition that has now been signed by over 250,000 Americans that we're going to take to Congress and ask that they act to ban AR-15s and high-capacity magazines. I also saw a star a couple weeks ago in New York City when I was asked to join a panel of national leaders on gun violence prevention. On that panel was a young African-American girl who survived the Parkland shooting. For 30 seconds is all it took for me to just keep going and keep fighting. Here's what she said. When the bullets started flying, I pulled up my friend who had been shot so that he could cover my body. And that's how she survived. And then she said, I was a normal black girl before I survived Parkland. I'm a normal black girl now. I speak for all of us in making sure that Parkland and urban gun violence is no more. There's no question that the stars are shining bright on this movement. And it's even more for the Sandy Hook ride on Washington. The stars are shining because it's time for a change. 97% of Americans now have said that they want background checks on all guns that are being sold. The King-Thompson bill now has 207 co-sponsors. All it will take to get that bill to pass is a vote. It's time for a vote. It's time for us to demand that our congresspeople call the vote. If we get over about 10 more, then we can do that. But if we keep putting pressure on Congress, they're going to have no choice. We are starting to win, we are going to win, and we are going to make our country safe. Martin Luther King led the last great civil rights movement in this country. So I'm going to go back to Dr. King, going back to the well. He said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you got to keep moving forward. We're going to keep marching, we'll keep riding, we'll keep pedaling. You keep doing what we're going to do. We're going to win this. We're going to make sure that our country is safer. Peace and blessings.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. If you can't, there's a lot of room up front. We are in a safe